Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going over an article by the Juneau Empire which talks about former U.S. Representative Mary Peltola, the Democrat who won back in 2022 and narrowly lost re-election in 2024, is reportedly very likely to run for governor in 2026. Former U.S. Representative Mary Peltola is likely to run for governor of Alaska in 2026 after the Bethel Democrat lost her seat to Republican Nick Begich III last November, according to the Cook Political Report on Thursday. Peltola, who served one full term in the House and a decade in the Alaska legislature, would join a likely crowded field in an open gubernatorial race since Republican Mike Dunleavy will be stepping down after 2 consecutive terms unless he departs early to accept a position in the Trump administration or for other reasons. Lieutenant Governor Nancy Dahlstrom, a Republican who finished behind Begich in the U.S. House primary last summer, would fill in for Dunleavy and is among those mentioned as a likely candidate in 2026. Attempts to reach Peltola on Thursday were not immediately successful. Begich and U.S. Senator Dan Sullivan, a Alaska Republican who's held that seat since 2015, are both on the ballot in 2026. However, the analysis published Thursday by the Cook Political Report puts, quote, Begich in the driver's seat, and a separate ratings categorizes Sullivan's seat as solid Republican. Both of them, or the solid Republican meaning it's likely going to be a 15% win for Sullivan or more. Begich starts out at very least as a lean to likely Republican favorite. Furthermore, Peltola, as a Democrat returning to Washington, D.C., would have Republican Donald Trump rather than Democrat Joe Biden in the White House, and both chambers of Congress are currently under Republican control. The Alaska legislature currently has bipartisan majority caucuses in the House and Senate that consist of a majority of Democrats among their members. A survey of 1,816 Alaskans 18 and older conducted between January 11th and January 13th showed that 22% of respondents stating Peltola should run for governor in 2026, 16% said she should seek Sullivan's Senate seat, 36% said she should not seek any office, and 26% said they were not sure, said Ivan Moore, the owner of Alaska Survey Research. Moore said he also conducted a gubernatorial race survey last summer that excluded Peltola. Candidates included were Dahlstrom, State Senate President or Majority Leader Kathy Gessel from Anchorage, former State Senate President and current Kenai Peninsula Borough Mayor Pete Misichi, former State Senator Click Bishop, and former State Senator Tom Begich, Democrat of Anchorage and brother of Nick Begich, and former Independent Lieutenant Governor Valerie Nura-Arluk Davidson. State Democratic leaders gathered in Juneau for 3 days, starting last Friday, for meetings and fundraisers involving the Alaska Democratic State Central Committee and affiliated organizations such as the Tongass Democrats. So that's a very interesting article, and I wanted to bring this to attention because in 2026, the assumption has been that the state is going to be a safe Republican seat, but I think one of the instances where it would not be safe Republican would be if Mary Peltola were to run. There are 2 potential Democrats, as the article mentioned, in here as well, Peltola and Tom Begich, who is, according to Wikipedia, the uncle of U.S. Rep. Nick Begich. These would be the 2 Democrats that could potentially make this race competitive. And just looking at the history of Alaska's governor elections, it'll give you a little bit of an idea. In 2022, Dunleavy won re-election by 26.1%. That would be a safe Republican win. Back in 2018, Dunleavy won by 7% against another Begich in the family. So that was a likely Republican win. So at least in 2018, it was a good Democratic year, but it did end up being a likely Republican win. If 2016 ends up being a Democratic wave year that historically it's suggested it's supposed to be, that could be a potential indicator. In 2014, the governor's election was actually won by an independent, so I mean you can kind of throw that one out, but Alaska has had, except for the last election in 2022, relatively competitive governor's elections. As for how we just saw Alaska vote in the 2024 presidential election, Donald Trump just defeated Kamala Harris 55% to 41%. So even though it is by the thinnest of margins, 55% to 41% would be a 14% win, which is technically likely Republican in my rankings, which has anything from 5 to 15% as likely Republican. So Alaska would technically be likely Republican, but this conversation for this governor's race, in my view, well, it depends who the Republicans put up, but really depends, does Mary Peltola run? because Peltola has been one of the most successful Democrats in Alaska in a very long time. She was able to win her last election in 2022 before narrowly losing in 2024, and I believe I have the House map pulled up. Let me open that up right now and show you. Nick Begich narrowly defeated Peltola after ranked choice voting came into effect, 51% to 49%. So it was a very close race in 2024. And let me show you the 2022 results as well. After first winning a special election and then going on to run for the full term in the general election, Mary Peltola was able to defeat Sarah Palin and then third place finisher Nick Begich, 55% to 45%. In 2022, which was supposed to be a good Republican midterm, in some cases it was, some cases it wasn't. The Roe v. Wade situation drastically changed the course of what the midterm was probably going to be. But Peltola, of the plus 10 Republican gains in the House, Alaska was not one of them. So I think Peltola running does present the Democrats a good opportunity in Alaska. And looking at the 2026 governor's map right now, I have Alaska as a safe Republican win. If Peltola were to announce, I would, at the bare minimum, shift it down to likely Republican. And I think likely Republican's a good place to start right now. If Peltola were to run, I could conceivably even see this getting down to lean Republican just by a little bit under 5%. But right now I have it as safe. Peltola runs, I would have it as likely. So it's just, she hasn't announced for sure she's running, but the article did mention that it's pretty likely she will. And if she does, I think it does give the Democrats a rare opportunity at maybe being able to win an office in the state of Alaska. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this. Make sure to leave a comment below telling me your thoughts. Make sure to give the video a like and remember to click subscribe. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Remember, I post a new video every day, so keep coming back for those. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you in a future video. That will do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to give it a like. And if you really liked it, please remember to click the subscribe button. And make sure you turn post notifications on so you always get notified when I post a new video. That way you never miss one. Also, please remember to share this video with your friends and family if you really like the video. And remember to stay tuned because I'll be posting at least one video every single day leading up until Election Day. So I'd really appreciate it if you keep coming back and watching those videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in a future video.